Hi, everybody. My name is Sumiah, and I am currently in my third and final year of studying Middle Eastern Studies with Arabic at the University of Exeter, Streatham campus. And this is a day in my life. So I hope that this video gives you guys a good idea about what it's like to study here and on this course and university life in general. But it is important to know that this is just one day in the life of one student. And one of the great things about university is how much you can shape your own experiences and make it your own. So my experiences are not necessarily everyone's, but hopefully they tell you something. So today is quite fairly busy day. I don't know, a little bit busy. I have in-person teaching today. Very, very safe, very COVID secure, but it's a pretty exciting day because I'm going onto campus. And I think I'm going to head there a little bit early, get some work done hopefully. And afterwards, I have a meeting with my dissertation supervisor, so I'll probably come home to do that. And then I have an online social event, so that's pretty exciting to get to see everyone and have some social interaction. So yeah, I guess let's go. Let's get started.
Hi everyone, please excuse the fogging. So because I have an in-person contact hour, I'm gonna head up to campus now. So because I'm quite lucky with my schedule this term, most of my classes are slightly later. They're in the afternoon. So it's really nice. I get to make my own schedule a little bit more. And I don't like getting up that early, but because I have an in-person class, I'm going up to campus a bit early, and I've booked one of the study spaces. Yeah, I'm gonna get some work done, hopefully. See you there. So we made it to the Institute of Arab and Islamic Studies. That's my building. So we're very lucky at Exeter because it is a smaller department. It's a smaller degree. It's not as common. But we have our own building and it's gorgeous and I love it and it's one of my favorite places on campus. So let's go in, I guess. So quick little tangent. Here we are in the back of the Institute. There's a little balcony and it has one of my absolute favorite views in Exeter, so I thought I would show it to you guys. It's really if I'm stuck working here late at night, sunset from this balcony is just gorgeous. Okay, now inside. So I'm sitting in front of the cave, which is the quiet workspace in the Institute. It's actually called the Ocean Cave because of all the blue in it, but we just call it the cave. And because it's a quiet workspace, I'm talking out here, but currently all the spots are bookable through a central system, so it's very COVID secure and the desks are very spaced out. So I'm just gonna go in there and work for a bit before my lecture. So I've been in the cave for a couple of hours, gotten some work done on my essay, and then I have about 40 minutes till my lecture, so I'm just gonna walk down and get something for lunch and then head back up and go to my lecture, just as a nice break from working and also food. So I have acquired my wrap and found a nice spot outside on the steps to eat it, since the weather's actually nice. And of course it's better to eat outside because then you can be very distanced from people and you don't have to wear your mask. So now I'm just gonna head back up to the Institute in time for my lecture. So what I have right now is Oral History, Principles and Practice. And what that is it's basically an introductory class on oral history as a discipline, which is the process, I guess you could say, of interviewing people to learn about, well, history, but you can use it for way more things than that, like anthropology or ethnography. So basically, interviewing people to either learn about the culture, some historical event that happened as a beneficial community project or something. It's really interesting. And also it's really nice because it's a very practical module. So it breaks up, all the essay writing. And that's one of my favorite things about university is you can choose what you want to do more, and you can tailor your classes to your interests, especially in third year when you get a lot more options and you don't have to take as many mandatory classes because you've learned all the things that they want you all to know by then, in most cases. Oh, I'm fogging. So, yeah. Pretty autumnal scene of the university. So yeah, it's really nice. You can tailor your subjects more to your interests, and it's a great way to explore different things.
I said about reflection. If you haven't done your interview yet, make sure that you do make some space for reflection. I know you've been practicing reflection and analysis all term, so I'm assuming I probably should have made a point of saying make sure that you do a thorough reflection when you've done your interview and see how you feel when you come out of it, and then look at that again later. That is something that you've actually seem to have got rather good at because you.
So that was one of the most inspiring lectures I've ever had. The way she talked about the work that was done, and the importance of finding joy even in trauma narratives really, really spoke to me and really inspired me. And to be honest, I never really thought about, continuing on in academia before this year. Well, I mean, before coming to uni basically, but especially this year and last year, because I've been really able to explore and try out new things and hear from all these inspiring people that just tell me how I want to work if I ever became a researcher or something like that. So it was a really incredible lecture. And also it's kind of a benefit of the current situation, because now that we have, this digital learning infrastructure, which Exeter is actually really known for, and I think we've won awards for, which I need to fact check, but I mean, I know we have, but I don't know which ones. So now having a guest speaker who's actually in California is possible now, partially because she agreed to be up at 4 a.m, but also because we have, this system in place where we can have a virtual class where some of it is online and some of it is in person, but it's still very interactive across the board. And I don't think that's something we ever would have done before. Definitely not something that would have been that successful necessarily, because it would have just been seen as this insane idea. But now, hopefully things will go back to normal, but we can carry some of the good things with it, like having so much more access to so many different people who can just really inspire us. Wow. Okay. So I've had my lecture. Before that, I was working in the cave. Maybe, I could stay at uni and do more work, but to be honest, I think time to head home now. I will have one detour, gotta go to the library, but after that, I'll just head home. So I'm just about to go into the library, which is also bookable as a study space, the same way the cave was. I'm not using it as that though, because I've got the cave. I prefer the cave. However, we're really lucky because it's also open to go in and check out books from. And, you know, the library's amazing because the majority of its resources are online, and especially with the current situation, if you can't access the physical copy, the library is really, really great about trying to help you however you can. And chances are everything you need will be online anyway. But for me, one of my favorite ways to procrastinate when I'm working on an essay that feels still productive, a little bit at least, is to go into the library and just look around the relevant shelves and see if I see anything which sparks any ideas or interests. And then I also don't have to be looking at screens so much right now when everything's online. So yes, I'm just gonna go walk around the library for a little bit and just see if anything pops out at me from the shelves. So that'll be fun. One thing that I cannot emphasize enough is how much easier independent work and research is when you have a proper university research library. When I was in school and I was doing like history coursework and everything, I just thought I was not well suited to independent research at all but actually, it's just I didn't have access to anything, and that's what made it so much harder. So yeah, basically just don't make assumptions about yourself and what you can and can't do before you have the resources for it. That's all I'm saying. That's my inspirational library advice. From the shelves to the selves.
I'm now back at home. I've been back at home for a little bit, actually. I just took some time to just hang out with my flatmates, and we just talked about our days. Your flatmates can be a really great source of friendship and support at university. I was really excited about that aspect of university, of getting to live with your friends. And I got really lucky. So when you apply for university owned accommodation in first year at Exeter, you fill in like a little survey so the university can hopefully match you with people they think you'll get on with really well. And in my case, they did a great job because I'm in third year now and I still live with some of my flatmates from first year, and they're some of my absolute best friends. So it's really nice to have that, especially since, you know, right now you can't really shouldn't socialize in person with people you don't live with. So it's nice to live with people I do want to socialize with. And now I have a meeting with my dissertation supervisor. So your dissertation it's kind of like a long essay, or if anyone did or is doing in EPQ, it's also sort of similar to that. It's about the word count varies. I think mine's 8,000. I really should know because I'm doing it right now, but I think it's 8,000. And it's where it's a chance for you to really further explore something that you are interested in. So I think it's really exciting because you really get to decide what you want to do and what you want to focus on. For some degrees, it's mandatory. For some, it's not. But it is very common, especially in essay-based subjects. And you're given a supervisor who's a member of staff, and normally they do it based on who has the most expertise in the subject you want to do your dissertation in, and who can help you the most and guide you the most. So it's really incredible. It is a lot of work, but it's fun and it's exciting because you get to decide what you want to do, and your supervisor really just helps you shape that and tailor that in such a way where you create like a really cohesive, nuanced piece of work. And I absolutely adore my supervisor. She's also one of my teachers. So she sees me a lot. Hopefully she's not sick of me yet. And you meet up with your supervisor semi-regularly. This is my second formal meeting with my supervisor, but I also go to her office hours a lot. And office hours are designated hours in each week that all the university staff have, and they have different ones. Well, all the teachers have, and they have different ones. And those are set times just for students to speak to them about if they have any questions or anything they want to talk about more and everything. So it's an absolutely great resource. I really recommend making use of that. Just bother everyone in office hours. So for my dissertation meeting today, though, I think we're going to talk about how my literature review is going, which is part of a dissertation where you look at all or at least a good amount of the scholarship that's been done on your subject so far, and talk about what it's doing well, what it's doing badly, where are the gaps. So that's another pretty intense thing where you're a third year undergraduate and you're talking about the gaps in high level academic literature, which you wouldn't think you would be ready for, but actually you are, based on the education you've already had at university. And that's a really exciting thing. Like even in second year, I started doing it where I'm just like, nah, this is flawed. And I had the authority to do that. And it was, I don't know, I thought it was pretty exciting. But anyway, yeah, I better go get to my meeting with her. So see you guys soon. Hopefully it goes well. So this has been a day in my life. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions at all, please get in touch with the outreach team, and their details will follow on. And yeah, thanks again, and bye.